Hello again, everybody. Zach Attack is here with my WWE Raw review. It's Monday, December the 18th of 2017, second to last Raw of the year from Providence, Rhode Island. Well, the last WWE pay-per-view of the year was yesterday, being the SmackDown pay-per-view Clash of the Champions. With that done, the 2017 pay-per-view schedule done, it's on the 2018 and the build-up for the Royal Rumble. It officially began tonight with the Raw main event announced, the first participant announced, in a Rumble match we've been hoping for and praying for ever since a certain evolution started. It's finally coming to fruition, as you see by my subtitle. There are some good things and some bad things about Raw this evening. Good thing number one, there was a couple good matches in there. As the continuing rivalry between the Shield and the Bar and Samoa Joe heated up, and Joe became a bigger dick. More good news. No woman reigns tonight! Yay! Wow! We didn't see Roman tonight. It's like one of the few times when he's not hurt, we don't see him. More good news. We finally saw Elias for the first time in 2 weeks. Yay. Got booked well against Roman. They got beat up by Strowman and finally was in a segment tonight. A very interesting segment he had. But the bad news was we had, for the second week in a row, a main event and a screwy ending. We have a main event on Raw that doesn't end screwy. We had a double count out last week during the main event. And now this week, we had a DQ. But it was a screwy ending with a purpose, as that main event would lead up to that big announcement. Plus, more good news, we had a debut and a return from two NXT stars. One that was debuting, and one that returned, like I said, after their injury-plagued first year on the main roster. Hopefully they have a better 2018. Now let's begin with the result in the aftermath of that main event from last week that ended in a double countout. Kennedy Braun Strowman, where the winner would go on to face Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at the Rumble. And I mentioned it in a double countout. Had a little brawl, so we didn't find out who was going to face Lesnar. That's how it began. Coming out, addressing the controversy, saying that all the parties are here. The two guys are in that match, and of course, Brock Lesnar himself was in the house. And he said by the end of the night, we're going to find out who would face Lesnar for the Rumble, at the Rumble. We didn't have to wait long. Braun Strowman came out saying that I deserve a shot against Lesnar. I was the last guy standing. I didn't win properly, but I laid Kane out, especially that one power slam through a table. But then Kane came out saying that he should be the one. But then Paul Heyman's voice boasted across the speaker, of course, by saying, "Ladies and gentlemen," and brought out the reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, making his first appearance on WWE television since his good match against AJ Styles at the Survivor Series. Saying that what Paul said on behalf of his client, when you discuss title matches, you don't discuss it without the champ's involvement. So all three guys were facing off nose to nose, and Angle was standing there like a sore egg, and knowing there was going to be chaos, he cut right to the chase. The result we were thinking it was going to be after the result of, the end result was going to be a triple threat. And it was, indeed, a triple threat for the Rumble. Kane, Strowman, and Lesnar for the Universal title. A result that we thought was going to be the outcome after seeing the finish of last week's main event. So then Angle screwed out because he knew when Paul was coming. Kane went to Lesnar first. And then there was a big brawl. Everyone was trying to take each other out. Strowman got thrown over the top rope. We didn't go to Suplex City tonight like Jack Gibble did during Clash of the Champions. But Lesnar did have 5 Kane after first attempt. He Did Kane block it? But whatever. Buck had to lift up 2 times. Second attempt, bam, cut the F5 on him. Maybe it was like when he came to the ramp, he was giving a funny face. Maybe he was embarrassed by the fact it took 2 tries to F5 Kane. He hopefully doesn't have to take 2 tries to F5 Kane. Of course, Kane is in this match probably to take the pin. So Strowman can stay protected. But a lot of people thought the same thing when Dolph Ziggler was inserted to the U.S. title match at Clash of the Champions last night, that he was going to take the pin. But as we saw, that was not the case. He ended up winning the whole damn thing, becoming the new U.S. champion, shockingly, to make sure he signs with WWE another year after his contract going up. So allergies are acting up. Weather's acting up with, of course, being a little cold outside. Now it's going up to 40. You went from being 20 to being 40s. So allergies acting up, especially for the holidays. Anyway, on to our scheduled first match. That's the keyword. Is our scheduled first match was supposed to be Samoa Joe against Seth Rollins, stemming for the last couple of weeks, with the little rivalry, like I said, between the Shield and Joe and the Bomb. But instead of Joe's music, we saw Jason Jordan coming after a huge heel heat. Boom. Saying that I'm not the guy you're not supposed to see. You don't want to see right now. Then there's this new gimmick. Is that I know you don't want to see me right now, but guess what? I want a piece of Samoa Joe. He's been asking for a match against Samoa Joe for the last 2 weeks and hasn't gotten it. His dad telling him you need wins, Jason. You've had great performances against John Cena and Roman Reigns twice, especially that IC title match a couple weeks back. But Jason, you need wins. You can't just give these great performances without stacking up wins. Wins matter in WWE. If you're my son or not. So Jason's like, I'm tired of asking. I'm taking my action to get a match against Joe. I want Joe, Seth. Then Joe came out saying, boys, 2 guys find me to dance with. No good heel pop from Joe saying, hey, how about you guys battle it out to face me? So that's what happened. We were having a impromptu match, kind of like the night of impromptu matches, with Seth Rollins taking on Jason Jordan, where the winner would take on Samoa Joe in the future. Not tonight. Well, at least not in a one-on-one case, as we would see later on. The match itself was good, even though the crowd were they chanting Jason Jordan or this is boring or let's go Wildlands. I don't know what they were saying. Maybe it was this is boring. Why would they chant that during AJ and Jinder last night? It was good action, but not much excitement in that match. Same with this. It was kind of like that, with Jason Jordan looking very dominant in this match and really going. With nasty suplexes. And of course, Joe was at ringside, standing on a chair. And he looked pretty good in there. Jordan looked good in there against Rollins, but Rollins made a big comeback with, of course, the big moves like the Falcon Arrow and some big kicks. Some big moves in there. But then, of course, Jordan came back with some power moves that Rollins would answer by doing a big frog splash. And by the end of the match, they brought on the outside for a bit. And Joe kind of got shoved into Rollins. And Rollins super kicked Joe, laid him out. Shoved Jordan back in. And gave Jordan the clothesline knee. And the 1-2-3 victory for Seth Rollins. That means he'll face Joe one-on-one in the future. But both would eventually get their hands on Joe. Or should I say Joe would put their hands on them after the match, laying out Rollins with a Uranagi, and laying out Jason Jordan with a clothesline on the barricade. But it would not be the last they would get of Joe. Another match is made. We would have ourselves a 6-man tag. Ambrose wanted a piece of Joe too, after losing to Joe last week. But they would have a reluctant tag partner. Jason Jordan would team up with Rollins and Ambrose later on in the evening against The Bar and Samoa Joe. You go from Roman Reigns to Jason Jordan. Like I said, I don't know why Reigns wasn't on the night. Maybe he was sick. We don't know it, but it's kind of weird to have him on without Reigns. It was kind of good for the most part. Next scenario, we had Finn Balor in a 2-on-1 match against the Mr. stemming from their little series of matches the last 2 weeks, with Finn beating both members of the Mr. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, in 1-on-1 matches. And tonight, like I said, like this handicap match, Axel was not wearing a neck brace like he did last week. Then took it off and sold it again. But tonight, he didn't sell it. He didn't have it. So Finn was trying to outrun the numbers, tried his best, but the numbers catched up to him with, quick tags in and out, and eventually was thrown out after Bo and Axel wouldn't break the count of 5. It beat down Balor until we saw the debut of Hideo Itami, who set the debut on the Cruiserweight division tomorrow night on 205 Live. And he came in. Nice little surprise to see him debut tonight. It took on the Mr. led towards another puppet match, a puppet tag match, with Hideo and Finn against the Mr. So nice to see them in action. And it was kind of interesting. Finn Balor's NXT debut was, of course, a tag match with Hideo against the Ascension. Like I was a big fan of Hideo's. Too bad his injuries plagued him in NXT, kind of like what's happening with a certain top guy team in the main roster. Hopefully they stay injury-free. As I mentioned, they returned tonight. So we had a quick little tag match here. Mr. trying to take advantage of Finn until Hideo got the hot tag in at the isolation for Finn. A decent little tag match, but sure Hideo's striking. After a great little double team with Finn, the end game when one Mr. I think it was Axel, getting the GTS to go to sleep. And the 1-2-3 victory for Hideo and Finn. Should Finn go cruiserweight? Because his book has been horrendous. He would do wonders for the cruiserweight division. That's what my dad says. But I don't believe that. He's supposed to be so over, but he's not in the Rumble match with Lesnar. He might be in the Rumble itself. He was in the Rumble match last year. After various rumors of him returning in it, never happened. Instead, it was Reigns at 30. So, there's that. Decent little match, but I hope they book Balor better. Nice to see what they do with Hideo on the 205 Live. And hopefully he stays injury-free, too. So, there's that. Speed up Cruiserweight. We had a Cruiserweight number one contenders match. It was Cedric Alexander taking on Drew Gulak. The winner would face up Enzo in the immediate future. And Enzo was on commentary. A little bit of tension between Gulak and Enzo. We saw it a little bit during Raw last week, but more importantly, saw that during 205 Live when Drew Gulak reluctantly attacked his best friend. Well, his former best friend, some would say, and former tag partner, Gamba. Gulak attacking Tony Nese. In the reluctance of Enzo Amore. There's a little tension, might be a little break-up going on. Enzo's other character is kind of interesting. As Gamba Gulak instead of doing a decent little match. Good action here. Good spot. My favorite spot in the match was when both guys suplexed each other over the top rope. That was a nasty landing there. That was a cool little spot. Trying to do a suplex on each other. Both tumbled. That was like a cool little spot. Hard hitting there. But then Gamba Gulak, who tried to do his PowerPoint presentation, interrupted again. Tried to do some strategic in-ring action. Of course, trying not to break his number one rule, no fly zone. Try to make a better 205 Live. But Enzo ended up being a culprit and costing the match. As Gulak was taking control, Enzo got a little text, a DM, should I say, from Nia Jax's little budding relationship with Nia. Hey, with this new mixed tag thing, and both are being named for that on the Facebook Live happening in January. That's interesting. I'm trying to watch that live. There might be partners in it. But Enzo walked down the announcement booth. Apparently, like I said, he got a DM from Nia, as we see later in a backstage segment following this match. And Gulak got distracted, said the capitalized with big kicks, landing with the lumbar check in the victory for Cedric, so he'll be the one to face Enzo More in the future for the Cruiserweight title. What would have been if Rich Swann did not hit his wife? Of course, this match came about. It was supposed to be Gulak against Swann, but then you know what happened to Swann last week. We had that impromptu fatal 4-way match. And Cedric won that, the second chance. And I think it's a good little storyline. You know, he's got a second chance. He had a second chance to get another opportunity for the Cruiserweight title, and he took that advantage, won the fatal 4-way, and he beat Gulak tonight, and hopefully he'll beat Enzo for the Cruiserweight title. Maybe Gulak will cost him it. So, we'll see how that plays out. Maybe the title match will happen on Christmas Day, because Raw's going live on Christmas Day. A very controversial decision that's being made to have Raw live instead of pre-taped. Matt Hardy's wife was not too happy. Speaking of that, we would have two separate promos tonight. They didn't conflict with each other, thank God. Two separate promos from Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, who will be fighting during the 205 Live tour. Hey, you need to sell tickets somehow, because 205 Live is the least interesting brand in the WWE right now. So Bray Wyatt came out early in the show saying that, you know, broken match words. You know, what's it about him that attract him? His words, his accents, his crazy faces. This great war will end, but the great war has begun. And Bray Wyatt's like, we'll play this little mind chess game. I'm ready to play it. When we saw Matt later on actually playing chess with a fish. Weird little promo, but hey, that's broken Matt for you. Talking about the chess game, and of course, we're going to dance! Bray Wyatt and Sister Abigail. So, although better than last week's promo, I'm glad they did separate promos. We still haven't seen an in-ring promo for Broken Matt yet. But at least they didn't have the annoying cuts that we saw last week. So I'm glad they were separated segments and not going back and forth like we see the last 2 weeks. But we still need to see an in-ring confrontation at one point. Are we going to get it? Maybe during Christmas. Maybe a good Christmas gift. Finally see these two in the ring for a segment. So now, we saw, like I said, the end of that match with Gulak and Seven with Enzo leaving. Got a DM of Nia, trying to hit on Nia, but then Gulak ruined it by apologizing to Enzo for losing. And that's why I think Gulak and Enzo's relationship might be over, because it's the old bros before hoes scenario. You know what I mean? Gulak's the so-called mentor, the protege of Enzo, but Enzo's going around hitting on Nia, going down in the DM, it goes down in the DM. Hey, I DJ at a middle school with urban kids. They like that stuff, so I know what the heck down in the DMs is. Well, the song, as well as the saying on Twitter. So I sense a breakup with Gulak and Enzo. As I mentioned, we could see Gulak screw Enzo in his match against Cedric. We shall see. Now on to a rematch, a couple rematches tonight. We had a Tribute to the Troops rematch in our main event. We had a match that was supposed to be a rematch last week until Absolution interrupted it by attacking Alicia Fox. We'll see that rematch tonight. Asuka taking on Alicia Fox. We'll get a little match here with these two. Asuka chased around Alicia for a little bit. Alicia laid a little offensive fury, including a big scissor kick at one point and another light suplex. But the inevitable happened because we heard the crowd chanting, Asuka's gonna kill you. That's what happened. Asuka came back after giving some offense to Alicia, a little bit more than she could have allowed her in many people's eyes. Destroyed Alicia with some nasty hip attacks and kicks, leading to the armbar, the Asuka line in the victory for Asuka staying undefeated. That's my pick for a certain football. So now on to our next matchup. When this match was announced for the match next to end the second hour, I was like, wow. They're going to have the women's match be the main event tonight because they announced a 6-woman tag with Absolution taking on Mickey, Sasha, and Bayley. Like I mentioned, a Tribute to the Troops rematch. In a match we were supposed to see on Raw 2 weeks ago until Mickey and Bayley were laid out. So it's like, they're going to be the main event tonight, but we know why now that match was indeed the main event and how it went. So instead, we have Our 2 main event being Samoa Joe and the Bar, the Raw Tag Team Champions, taking on Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins in the reluctant tag team partner, not Roman Reigns, Jason Jordan. It should be Jason, not Roman Reigns, Jordan. Sorry. Allergies. So the good attitude goes the ball game with some big double team moves, isolating Rollins early in the matchup and preventing any point of attack. You know, like every time Ambrose was close to getting tagged out by Rollins, they would find a way to avoid it, pulling Rollins back, even taking out Ambrose. Ambrose never really got in the match. Joe got in a little bit by blind tagging. You know, there was some tension because these three have had a little issue, especially Jordan, costing Ambrose a match against Joe last week. So a little bit of tension there. And mostly Rollins got isolated, selling a back injury that he suffered during the match against Jordan and in the post-match attack from Samoa Joe with that "you're not good." So then there's some fast action. There was a little ball on the outside at one point, towards the end with Jordan taken out by the announcer's booth. And there was a great sequence from Ambrose and Rollins. Like Cesaro was going for a move on Dean, and then he back body drops Cesaro into Rollins. Like a little bit of sequence on the outside. But then Ambrose threw Rollins back in, almost got tagged, then got pushed out. Then Rollins with Cesaro and Joe and all of them on the outside. Rollins flew off the outside, took everybody out, including his tag team partner, Ambrose, who fell pretty hard in the impact, failing on his arm. We're going to say it's not a real injury. It's a storyline injury. So with Ambrose selling an arm injury after getting involved in the air attack from his tag team partner, the doctor's checking on his arm. Broke kick onto Rollins when he went back to the ring by Sheamus in the victory for the Bar and Samoa Joe. I thought it was a real injury at first because the way the match suddenly ended in that, but it was a storyline work injury. Shoot injury. As we see later on, Ambrose was being checked out, and then we saw another attack in the back by the Bar and Samoa Joe, leading to Samoa Joe smashing a rolling case door on top of Ambrose's arm, so he might be out for a while, selling this storyline injury. So these are little matches, even though we didn't see a lot of Ambrose in it, but we saw what happened with him getting an attack in the back, as well as doing the match with his arm. So, there you go. On to our next scenario. Next matchup with Rhino and Heath Slater. I haven't seen them in weeks on Raw. Taking on a team we haven't seen in months on Raw. I mentioned it a little earlier. Dinosaur, yeah! They're back. Dash Rider and Scott Dawson. The Revival. I know. You hear that? You want to get it out. I love the Revival, but I love saying this phrase. Say it with me now. 1, 2, 3. Fuck the Revival! Sorry, I hate to say it, but I like to say it though, even though I like Revival. Woo! Anywho, nice Revival back. They've had a little stop and go this year. They had a great start of the main roster. Debuted at the Mania, but then Rounder got hurt with a broken jaw. Then it came back in July, started a little feud with the Hardys. Then Dawson got injured. And now they're back, hopefully staying injury-free and finally dominate the tag scene like they should be on the main roster. We saw a little interaction in the back by Apollo and Titus O'Neil, Titus Worldwide, with the new assistant, Dana Brooke, trying to salvage her career and not get figure endeavored. Anyway, this match, typical Swasher, Heath and Rhino had some good offense there, but the event what happened with the Revival was a great double team work. Taking it out with the Shadow Machine in the victory for the Revival, and Rollins and Rhino and Heath Slater, they need to change. They were confronted by Kurt Angle saying that, hey guys, you were the first SmackDown Tag Team Champions, but you haven't been good as of late. You've been losing a lot. You need to step up your game in a new year. A lot of great teams out there. You don't need to get lost in the shuffle. Will we finally see a breakup a la Mojo and Zack recently? They like to bring up their tag teams. They brought up a lot of tag teams this year. Bojo and Zach. Cassidy and Zoe. DIY. They love to break up their tag teams. So basically, they'll technically break up if nothing else happens. So now on to our scheduled main event, a women's match. That's cool to see a main event, but we see why it was later on with the arrival of Stephanie. During the show, like, why is she there? Find out why later. But first, Elias! Yay! Fighting on Raw for the first time in 2 weeks after being taken out by Braun Strowman. He wasn't on Raw last week on TV. He had a great song about Cleveland that was on internet only. Kind of like what they did in the Fashion Police the morning into online. Damn you. They want those 20 million subscribers to YouTube. Anywho. Elias got some good heel heat. Talking about Tom Brady. They wanted to sing a song about watching Adele. Of course, if you know anything about football, you know the rivalry between the Pats, its fans, and watching Adele and the NFL. Deflate game. It's been 2 years. It's getting old. Anywho, as Elias was singing his song, he got interrupted by not just Sasha, but interrupted by Bayley and Mickey. So it's kind of interesting intertwining there with him being interrupted before leading off to our main event match. We saw the 3 to 2 match with Absolution winning. So, okay, we'll see Absolution win again. But then, we saw a women's brawl last week. And we're like, okay, women's brawl last week, but then when we really think about it, we could see the women rumble again. Dang it, I say it. Well, I said it earlier, but, we saw a rumble with the women last week. And we could see one more again tonight to set up the match we were hoping to see. And by the way, Elias said he's the first participant in the Rumble. The men's Royal Rumble. So let's go to see Elias in the Rumble. I hope he and English finally confront each other. They missed an opportunity at Survivor Series. We didn't see any Aiden and Elias interaction because it's multi-branded pay-per-view. Hopefully we see it during the Rumble. Maybe we have a sing-off at the Rumble in the match. It'll be great. Especially if Rusev Day getting over. See the crowd last night in Boston. So we have an okay little tag match here. With Absolution dominated early onto Mickey James. Actually, Sasha Banks get isolated. Then Bayley and Mickey got into a little brawl outside with both Mandy and Sonya. We thought, damn, we're going to have another screwy finish. As we saw one last week's main event. Where we didn't get a count out, but we did see, like I said, a DQ. Striking up the top rope in the midst of the outside confusion. Double D's onto Paige. But then Rose and Sonya would come back in. Triple team on Sasha. Referee threw it out. DQ. There you go. At least we didn't see the good women get pinned again. From Absolution, we saw them on the Tribute to the Troop show. It kept the dominance going until Nia Jax came out, who was in that mentioned Rumble from last week. She wanted to get her hands on Paige, but instead both Sonya and Bayley got stacked up and got doubled some more and dropped by Nia. But then Paige would clip the knee of Nia, and Sonya and Bayley would get back up, continue the triple team, this time on Nia, until the rest of the Raw women's roster, Alexa Bliss, Dana Brooke, Alicia Fox, and all the others, came out to save the day. We had a big brawl. A big rumble as you win. Then Stephanie came out, talking about how the women have been making history the last 2 years. The first women's Hell in a Cell match. We had the first women's Money to Bank match. And women main eventing pay-per-views, main eventing NXT events, and wrestling for the first time in WWE at Abu Dhabi in the Middle East. So, getting rid of the Divas name. Well, there's still Total Divas. But anyway, it's the women's division now. Women making history now, last couple of years, with those accomplishments I just mentioned. So Stephanie's like, you want to make history again? So, let it be so. Ever since the women's gotten more higher up and treated with equal respect, treated equally like the guys, and getting, their own Money to Make match, and Hell in a Cell, and main eventing, blah, 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 blah. This was the type of match we've been hoping for and praying for. We were even hoping we were going to see this in 2017's edition of this pay-per-view. But as we saw with the return of Paige and the debuts of Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, and seeing Ruby Wyatt and Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan and the Wyatt Squad debut, rumors were buzzing about these women debuting for a certain match to finally happen. That's when they bring all these women up from NXT. And yes, the announcement finally happened tonight, and it's going down. For the first time ever in WWE history, there will be not one, but 2 Royal Rumbles. In the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, we'll have the men's Royal Rumble. And yes, finally, we're going to have a women's Royal Rumble. Yes, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be both Raw and SmackDown women. Maybe some more NXT call-ups. Iconic duo, please, Billy Kay and Peyton Royce debut in the Royal Rumble, please. It's a 4-hour pay-per-view now, so I was like, hey, we can have a women's battle Royal Rumble now. It's awesome to finally see this happen. We've been wanting to see this happen since women have been treated equally, and finally, we're going to get all women's Royal Rumble on January 28th at the Rumble pay-per-view on the WWE Network. It's going to be exciting, So, are the champions going to be involved? Probably Alexa and Charlotte will be out because my Alexa went off again. I said Alexa to have an Amazon Echo. It happened last week. I was doing my wall review. I said Alexa's name and it activated Rolling Stones radio for some reason. So, had to turn my Alexa off. So, we're assuming the Raw side will have Bayley, Sasha Banks, Alicia Fox, Dana Brooke, Asuka, my pick to win it all. When winner will go on to... That's a good question. What's the prize? Is it going to be a women's title match in WrestleMania? Like the men's fight for a title match in WrestleMania themselves? That's what I think. That's what I assume. They're treating it equally the guys. Hey, fight for a title match at Mania. That's what's the prize, I'm guessing. And then SmackDown, you got Becky Lynch, hopefully returning by then for a movie with The Miz. We're also probably going to have Lana. Yeah, she'll probably be wrestling in it. With Tamina, Carmella, she doesn't cash in Money in the Bank by then. In the Wyatt Squad, Absolution for Raw. And we could add some more NXT call-ups. Maybe, like I said, Peyton and Amber. Maybe Amber Moon. And also, Peyton and Billy. And who knows, maybe we'll see Kairi Sane. Hopefully see the NXT call-ups. Or maybe, even though they'll call up for full-time or just make a one-time appearance, we need some more names to fill it up. Because the big question is, how many women? Is it going to be 30 or is it going to be like 20? We'll see. How's it going to be numbers-wise? And if we're going to see any more NXT women come up. Either for one-time appearance or for full-time during a woman match. So, there you go. That's where we end Raw with a screwy ending, but screwy ending with a purpose. With the announcement, we've all been hoping to hear, a women's Royal Rumble is happening, people. It's going down. Yes. Equality for women. So that's that. And that is it for the Raw review for tonight. With that in mind, you've all been attacked by the review from Zach. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to make a Christmas review Raw. Christmas Day Raw review. I hope to do so. Possibly. See if that happens. If I don't make a Raw review next week, I wish everybody out there a Merry Happy Christmas. And a probably Happy New Year. If I don't make another video before the end of the year, but we shall see. Thank you again. See ya. Bye-bye.